When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. As we start our story off where we last left off, Izuku, Dobby, and Toga just got back from their mission wiping out some rats in Izuku's new territory. I think I made the right decision teaming up with you, boss. I look forward to the next outing. I should probably get some work done. As Dobby walks away with his hands in his pockets. You know how to show a vampire a good time. As Toga leaned over to kiss Izuku on the cheek, as Toga skipped away to go back to work. I should probably check if my guest has finally awoken. I believe Melina should be with her still. When Izuku walked into his room, he was quite surprised by the events as he sees Melina has one of his knives he left in his room leaning against her neck by the woman they saved earlier tonight. It seems that you're already awoken up, and it seems like you found one of my knives. Sorry, sir, I underestimated her when she got up. She was quite hostile. Quiet, where am I? Who are you? Or should I say, what are you? I recognize this blade. This is the devil's blade. And don't give me that bullshit, it's a mutation quirk. I might have believed you if I wasn't a well-trained ex-monster hunter. You're a charming one. You're at my base. We came across you. We ended up saving you for being, and for a nasty bit of business. Was trying to sacrifice you. Honestly, that's way outdated. We no longer associate ourselves with barbaric ancient customs like that. It's been outlawed for centuries now. And who we are, and the one you have a knife against her throat, that's Melina. She is a demon. Izuku briefly saw in her eyes that she was shocked and scared, but that soon disappeared when she recovered her composure. And for me, allow me to introduce myself properly. I'm Izuku, and I'm a devil, the son of Lucifer and Lilith, and the only prince of hell. And I'm the very heir of hell. If my father ever wanted to step down. That's not really important. I mean you no harm. I just wish to have a dialect with you. Fine. As she let go of Melina, removed the knife from her throat, but she kept the knife close to her just in case they become hostile. This is bad. One demon. Dealing with this demon is bad enough, but I've never came across a devil, of all things. Most hunters haven't. It's rare to come across a devil. And the ones who has been crossed by a devil never return. They're most likely they were killed off. They bit more than they can chew. And the usual devils hunters come across are crossroad demons. I need to tread carefully. As she as she broke out of her inner thoughts and sat on the bed quietly. What is a devil and a demon doing on Earth anyways? Izuku shrugged his shoulders. Well, Miss Lena was already here on Earth for a while, and for me, I came to Earth because I was bored. While talking to... While Izuku was talking to Lady Dagon, he went over... He went over to his demon companion to see if she was alright, to see if she has no injuries, as he turned his attention fully towards the human. I'll give you a short version. Most of my time in hell, I was doing my job, from organizing crossroad demons, then eventually quitting because it became a bit tedious, and train hellhounds instead. I came across a human magazine from my dear little sister and saw an article about villains, so naturally, it interested me, so I decided to try out being a villain. Relax, I have no interest in hurting the general population. That would get the attention of the angels, and I really don't want that. I just want to see these heroes in action. And what's better way to fight them? What's better way to find out than fight them in a heated battle between good and evil? And whoever lives in my territory, I will protect, of course. Don't get me wrong. I'm a high-class devil, and on default, we're evil entities. But I have no intention of hurting the general human population that aren't involved with the fight between a villain and a hero. And the general population has no threat coming from me. If I can prevent them being harmed, I will do so. After all, I'm on a long vacation. And considering you are ex-monster hunter, you would come in handy, so I offer you today. I offer to join me in my little villain group. I do appreciate you saving me from what was going to happen, but I have no interest in joining your little villain group. So my answer is no. That's a bit disappointing, but very well. That is your decision. I won't force you. After all, you have free will. You're free to go. Just gonna let me go just like that? Like that. Of course, I don't wanna... Of course, I want you to join, but I'm not gonna force you or anyone. I want people to follow me. Human, devil, demon, werewolf, vampire, doesn't really matter. I want them to follow me because they want to, not because they fear me. That's not how I do things. I have no intention of forcing you, after all. Like I said, you have free will. I'm a bit disappointed, but I'll manage. Sort of method is beneath me. I'll leave that to the lesser devils and demons. Izuku watched Lady Nagant, has a confused expression on her face. As she leaves, she's unsure. She was almost tempted to join Izuku, but she wasn't sure what he's after, so she decided to play it safe. For now. Are you sure about this, sir? Don't worry about it. I have a feeling she'll be back. I don't think that's the last time we will run into that human. I want you to run a background check on that human. Clearly she was in prison before the Satanists got their hands on her. Call me curious. Honest, sir. Izuku watches the dear Milena leave the room. The minute she left the room, a red magic circle appeared on the ground. As he recognized it, it's a vampire magic circle. As the user uses type of magic circle, turn to blood as they reappear at the destination. As the magic circle begins to leak blood, as it slowly forms a figure that he recognized. Well, I haven't used that in a while. I do apologize for the abrupt visit. Izuku dear? It's quite alright, Lady Victoria. What do I owe the honor of your visit? He gently took one of her hands and kissed the top of her hand. Unfortunately, I can't truly enjoy how flirty you are. Unfortunately, this is not a personal visit. My teacher, your mother, contacted me a few hours ago as she has a mission for you, according to what she told me. As she hands over a letter over to Izuku, Izuku opened up the sealed envelope with one of his sharp fingernails and pulled the letter out of the envelope. It seems to be written in devil language. Sweetheart, I hope you're doing well. It's me, your lovely mother. It comes to my attention that some of the lesser devils are not following orders. I wish for you to remove them. I figured you were already there, so it couldn't hurt to ask. It would really please your mother to have these insects removed from their little power. They've been disguising themselves as humans and been pulling strings around in the shadows under the banner of the safety committee. I want you to remove them, please, dear. And your father has been dealing with a very important matter, so he can't get to it. That's why we haven't removed them. After reading more of the letter, Izuku put the letter back into the envelope and gently put it away in the desk that's in the room, as he put it in one of the drawers. Thank you for informing me, Lady Victoria. I will be accepting my mother's request. If my mother's asking me to do it, it will be done. Of course, I have no doubt. Now that business is done, how you been? How's my daughter been doing? I hope she hasn't been burdening you at all. Doing quite well, and your daughter has been most helpful. She's been she's been she's been most helpful. She's been far more than a burden to me. Her skill set is very important. I'm very pleased to hear that. My daughter's special, even under vampire standards. I should probably get going. I have a lot of work to do. Until we meet again, my lord. As she makes the magic circle, as her body turns into blood, as she disappears in a pool of blood. So the safety committee is run by a bunch of low-class devils. This will be interesting. It's quite impressive considering the safety committee controls who becomes heroes and who doesn't, according to what information I've came across. Izuku stepped out of the room and informed Toga to get all the members up for an announcement or emergency meeting. 30 minutes later, all of his members of his little villain group gathered up as Izuku stepped into a large room and stepped into the large conference room. We're going to be doing a big operation very soon. It just come to my attention that this human safety committee has been manipulating things by a couple low-level devils, and we're going to remove them entirely. I want teams to monitor the members of the safety committee. We're going to locate key members and assassinate them. But before we can act, we need intel. The operation will start tomorrow. I suggest everyone get plenty of rest. I'll be in my office if you need me. Meeting dismissed. Sir, I got the information you asked. There wasn't much. Here's everything we have on her. I was able to gather. Apparently, she goes by the name of Lady Nagat. Most likely a code name. We don't know her real name. It's still a mystery. She used to be one of the best assassins under the safety committee. In her report, when she found out that she was killing innocent civilians, she killed the director. Shortly after she escaped, she was captured and put in Tartarus, but somehow the Satanists got to her at some point. According to what I found out, she's extremely dangerous for a human. Most likely been using magic to increase her physical strength. No human should be able to perform such feats. What video footage I found of it. Interesting. She most likely will be targeting the safety committee. Again, considering her history, I'll keep an eye on her. There might be a chance for a temporary team up. Don't worry, Melina. I'll be bringing Toga along. I was about to suggest this very same thing, sir. After Izuku told Melina of his plan, he made his way out of the room and head over to where Toga is. Toga, you're coming with me. Where we're going, boss? To keep an eye on someone. She has a grudge against the safety committee. Aye. Doesn't sound too exciting, but I'm on board. Are you able to track her scent? Of course, boss. I'm a pure-blood vampire after all. I could track her down in no time. Very well, I'll follow your lead on this one. But may I ask, why didn't you ask Dobby? He's a werewolf after all. That's true. Dobby would be a good tracker. But your abilities outclass his for this current job. You're a good tracker and you have abilities in stealth. He does not. I find your abilities far more useful in this circumstance than our very first werewolf companion. Gives us more time to spend with each other. After all, I do like to get to know my people who follow me on a more personal level. I find it they perform their tasks much more successful in a friendly atmosphere. I like to keep a friendly relationship between all the people that work under me. After all, I did manage to keep a bunch of crossroad demons in line. Shall we go, Toga? The two traveled out of their territory as they stumble upon Lady Nagat fighting some werewolves in the alleyway. Boss, we also have found her, boss, and we also have some We have some of the same werewolves from that pack that came across us when we first met. I believe they're the Blood or Blood Moon pack. I really don't really pay attention to the pack names. They get too confusing after a while. Very well, I should probably make good on my promise. I made those to those wolves. I gave them plenty of time to leave the city. And I'm no liar. Show no mercy. Kill them all. But leave but leave the one in the middle alone. He seemed to be the one in his little group in charge. Well, he seems to be the one in charge in his little group. Don't worry about the human. The way she's moving, she could take care of herself. After all, she is an ex-monster hunter. So she has some training in fighting creatures like werewolves. Stop resisting me. Maybe I'll make your death nice and painless. You're clearly stupid. I told you several times to use those wolf ears of yours. I'm no longer a monster hunter. Don't make me use more lethal methods. As one of the werewolves on the right rush towards Lady Nagant, they're still in their human form. As Lady Nagant duck under his fist as she stabbed the devil's knife underneath his armpit. As she kicked the werewolf in the face, as it goes flying back into a trash can, as Lady Nagant jumped backwards to get some distance. Nagant get into a fighting stance when the talkative werewolf rush forward, only to get sidelined by a blonde vampire girl. She did a handstand kick, lining both of her feet into the werewolf's chest, making him go flying backwards into the brick wall as the wall crumbles from the force of the impact. You heard the pretty lady. Back off, dogs. As the werewolf get up from being attacked, as he growls at the blonde-haired vampire girl, known as Toga. Toga. I was hoping we would meet you again, so we can kill you. You save us some time, so we don't have to waste our time searching for you, parasite. I would love to sit here. Oh, sorry, give me a second. I'd love to sit here and banter with you dogs, but my orders are clear from my boss. Sadly, I'm going to have to kill you now. Before the werewolves could laugh at Toga, Toga threw several knives at the werewolves, as they immediately begin to dodge out of the way from the point sharp objects heading towards them with incredible speed. Even one of the knives dig right into the brick wall, right behind the werewolves when they dodge, displaying how strong she's throwing these knives. A normal Toga is dangerous, but a pure blood vampire Toga is a scary sight. As her playful expression on her face is no longer there, it is replaced with a serious expression. When the two werewolves rushed towards Toga, she threw two knives, landing in their legs as she dodged by going into a roll under two of the werewolf sharp fingernails that they morphed in a slashing motion. As she spun around, then got back. When she was facing them, she karate chopped one of the werewolves, separating his head from his body. Then she shoved her hand into the werewolf's chest, ripping out his heart, as she tossed it to the side like a piece of trash, angering the rest of the werewolves from seeing their members of their pack dying and run in front of them. And this is why you're stupid. This is why you're the stupidest werewolf I ever had the misfortune to come across. I have no doubt you would be able to handle a normal vampire, but I'm no normal vampire. I'm a pureblood. That means I'm above the pecking order. Mutts. If you want to die so badly, I'm more than willing to take your lives. Luckily for you, my master wants a word with you, so you won't be dying. Well, not by my hands. As you hear clapping on the other side of the alleyway, most impressive display, Tugga, dear. Allow me to handle the rest of them from this point on. Of course, boss. It's good to see you again, Lady Nagant. I see you've been using my knife quite talentedly. It's good to see the knife being used in such an expert hand. Don't worry, you can keep it. Think of it as a gift. After all, you're going to need it if you're going after the safety committee. What do you mean by that? You see, be patient. Now, gentlemen, I believe I gave your little pack a deadline. As a gracious devil that I am, I gave you more time out of the goodness of my black heart. And you, werewolves, in your arrogance, is getting on my last nerves. You should really know your place. Luckily for you, one in the middle, I have some questions for you. And the rest of them, I do not care for. Izuku snapped his fingers as two red portals appear right beside him, on his left side, on his right side, as hellhounds coming rushing out of the portal. Sick 'em, girls. Remember, keep the one in the middle unhurt. I have plans for him. And me and little Wolfie over here gonna have a nice friendly chat. Aren't we? Before the other werewolves could do anything, they were shredded into pieces by the hellhounds, and the one that did survive get dragged back through the portal to suffer their fate. Have a pleasant visit in hell, werewolf. Sadly, your stay probably won't be very long. After the hellhounds drag the rest of the werewolves through the portal to be devoured, the portal closes as Toga is standing right next to Lady Nagant watching the show. As Izuku sees the werewolves, or sees the one left, only werewolf survivor, is the one he specifically left alive, trying to escape. You're gonna make this difficult, aren't you? Very well. I guess pain will be a good teacher for you. Werewolf. Now let's see. What can I use? I got an idea. As red hell chains bind the werewolf, as they appear from small red portals around the werewolf, binding him, as Izuku dragged the werewolf by one of the chains further into the alleyway. No class. Instead of standing your ground, you ran like a coward. I hate people like you. As soon as things don't look your way, you run with your tail between your legs, like some sort of house dog. The moment those words left his mouth, it enraged the werewolf, As he begins to try to shift, Izuku is quite amused by the attempt to escape the hell chains. Izuku slams his foot into the stomach of the werewolf, forcing him to shift back into his human state. There's no point in struggling. Once the hell chains have you in their grasp, you can't escape. You probably notice slowly the chains are draining away your life force. It will continue to do so until you're dead, until you're nothing but a unrecognizable husk of a pathetic life form, unrecognizable by the rest of your kin. It's going to tear right through your soul. You haven't noticed a chain slowly going into your chest. It will continue to slowly descend into you until it reaches your soul. Then it will devour it when there is no life force to be fed off of. I really don't need to talk to you to get my answers, as he placed one of his hands over the werewolf's face, as he gets all the memories, as he ripped it out of his head. As a humongous black door appeared out of nowhere behind Izuku, as the door opens up, several black chains wrap around the werewolf and slowly drag him into the doorway, where he sees green, blackish fire. See, Wolfie, this is a special place I designed myself. It's a special place where I like to send cowards like you to their torment. Welcome to my personal created hell. I created this on my off days. I despise cowards. You see, when you pass the threshold into the doorway, and when it shuts, you'll be burnt alive. And when you're about to die, you will be completely healed. Then you will start the process all over again. Have fun in eternity, little Wolfie. As the black chains drag the werewolf into the arch of the doorway, as the door is closed, leaving the tortured dimension, as the door slowly disappears into smoke. I know you have questions, Lady Gaunt. I have some information for you. You'll be quite vital if you're going after the safety committee, and we have a common goal in that. If you want to know, follow Toga over here, back to the hideout. You'll be safe there. I have to discipline some misbehaving dogs. In the meantime, this shouldn't take long. Fine, I want answers. When you get back, I want to know what you know. I'm more than willing to indulge you, to provide you with such information. I'll see you in a little bit, girls. As he watches Toga and Lady Nagant go back to the hideout, as he made his way towards the werewolves, making their way to their territory, Izuku turned one of the corners to see the alpha, the leader of the pack, head into some car that he recognized the werewolf from the memories he got from the last wolf he ripped the memories out. As Izuku followed them outside the city limits to a large building in the middle of the woods or forest, he sees several different werewolves. He's guessing he stumbled upon some sort of alpha meeting, as he could tell some of the tension between all the alphas, like they want to rip each other apart. They just wanted an excuse. After 2 hours of waiting outside the gates, Izuku looked at his watch on his wrist, as he officially got tired of waiting, as he ripped the gate door off the hinges and threw it back of him, hitting a couple trees, as he got intercepted by a group of different werewolves from different packs. Izuku simply disappeared and reappeared right behind them, in front of the door to the building, as all the werewolves outside fall unconscious at the same time. Sorry, kids, but I can't play with you right now. I'm not after you. So you should be fine when you get up. You're just gonna have a splitting headache. As he kicked down the door, interrupting the yelling match between the alphas. The alpha he's after. He's yelling at a young alpha girl. As you as some of the alphas are trying to establish a peace treaty between the Blood Moon Pack, that Izuku made it clear to leave the city. Blood Moon Pack has some sort of grudge against the Silver Moon Pack. They have a long history of fighting each other, going down generations. As all the werewolves turn their head towards the figure of footsteps coming down the archway from the destroyed door, as they hear footsteps getting closer and closer until Izuku stepped into the room. I do apologize for the interruption in your little discussion, but I'm sadly here for one of your alphas. You don't need to worry about the werewolves outside. I just put them to sleep for a little bit. They're mostly unharmed, mostly, but they're still breathing. Sadly, I can't say the same thing for the Blood Moon Pack. I clearly made myself clear, didn't I? One of the more arrogant alphas from another pack rushed towards Izuku, only to get his head smashed into the ground. While Izuku had a grip on his face, slammed the back of his head down to the ground, breaking the tile of the floor. Sit, boy. The grown-ups are talking. Knocking him out instantly. Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. So I hate dealing with you kind. So uncivilized. I'm surprised there's not a lichen here. You wolves don't normally have these type of meetings without a lichen present. Strange, but no matter. I really don't care either way. Okay. I'm only here for the Blue Moon Pack. I have no quarrel with the rest of your pack. So, with all due respect, stay out of it. For the Alpha of the Blue Moon Pack could confront the devil. He was grabbed by the throat by Izuku as he tossed him across the room, slamming him into a wall. As all the pack members of the Blood Moon Pack that were in the room rushed toward Izuku, only to see themselves burst into green and black flames. A mixture between his flames are like green and black, a mixture between those colors. As they all burst into flames, being set on fire alive, burning them to a crisp, leaving nothing but ashes where they used to stand. I truly hate to get my hands dirty like this, but sometimes it needs a personal touch. I give your pack plenty of time to leave the city, but of course not. You ignored my warnings. Truly sad, really. Figure your pack would have a lot more smarts than that. Of course, I shouldn't expect too much from your kind. After all, you're a lesser species. Bastard, it wasn't a recommendation, it was an ultimatum. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Sadly, that's beyond your capabilities, Mutt. And when I'm done with you, I'm gonna go to your little pack house and eliminate the rest of your pack personally. I was kind enough to give you plenty of time, but sadly, you disappoint me. Truly pathetic. I won't be disrespected this way. I'm the Alpha. Truly pathetic. Izuku suddenly appeared right in front of the Alpha and slammed his foot into his stomach, then re-rammed him against the same wall with incredible force. It even shook the whole building for a brief second. You're nothing compared to me, maggot. As he grabbed the Alpha by the hair and tossed him against the table, as the rest of the Alphas stepped backwards in terror of this person, just appeared out of nowhere. This is the first time they've seen a devil from the Lucifer line in person. Izuku's given off a very ominous aura around him, and the rest of the werewolves can pick up on that. They're not stupid enough to mess with him. They know it would be a suicidal endeavor. You see, I really don't appreciate you going after Toga as much. She's became one of my subordinates, and it would make me look bad if you ever managed to hurt her, but that likelihood of that happening is most likely not possible. But better safe than sorry. Izuku watched the Alpha run away like a coward. I'm getting the feeling this pack is filled with nothing but cowards. Good thing I'm going to remove them. I do apologize for the interruptions. I'll get out of your hair. I have an Alpha and a whole pack to kill. You might excuse me, Alphas. You have a lovely day. Sorry about the door. As he made his way out of the room, through the door that starts to float and fix itself like it was never broken, leaving the Alphas scared shitless. Izuku stepped out of the building and stared up on the sun as he fixed his suit. I hate uncivilized werewolves. They're always a pain. They're always a pain in the ass to deal with. It's time to complete my little pest control. As we do a little small time skip, 3 hours, as you see Izuku on top of a building staring down at a old hotel that the Blood Moon Pack made their pack house, filled with members. I give the coward Alpha some credit. Nice spot to have a home base. Let's get this done. I'm already over this already. Izuku stepped off the roof and quietly landed on the street below. He made his way towards the hotel, ripping the heads off the 2 werewolves that were standing guard in front of the door. As he made his way into the hotel, as he dropped the 2 severed heads, as he stepped in through the hotel to be meted with several werewolves, Izuku extended his hand outwards towards the werewolves and unleashed a wave of green and black fire, killing them instantly. Izuku calmly walked through the hotel, burning alive any werewolf he could find. With his hellfire, he's being extremely thorough, making sure no members of the pack survive his onslaught. He went room from room, floor to floor, massacring every of the Blood Moon Pack. Izuku finally got to the top floor where the Alpha is, and when he entered the hallway, he saw a few of the werewolves standing guard, waiting for his arrival in their human forms. The moment they saw him, they immediately got into a fighting stance. Izuku noticed the wolves inside the hallway were rushing towards him as he decided to stay where he is and begin to dodge to the left, then ram his knee into the stomach of one of the werewolves, then backhand him out of the window. Without even looking, he extended his hand out towards the werewolf that just got punched out of the building and unleashed his hellfire, burning the werewolf alive. as he gives his full attention to the rest of the werewolves alive in the hallway. I commend you, werewolves. So your pack is not filled with entirely cowards. In a sign of respect, I'll give you all a warrior's death. Shall we continue, werewolves? Ezekiel would dodge the rest of the werewolf's attacks, and using his forearms to block strikes, along with his knees, as he swiftly killed one by one. The first one he took down, Ezekiel snapped his neck before the other one could react. He rammed his hand into the werewolf's chest, crushing his heart as he tossed the dead werewolf to the side. As the last werewolf lunged at him, as he grabbed his face with his hand and slammed him against the ground, smashing the back of his head. As he stomped his foot into the werewolf's neck, snapping his neck. Then you see him vaporize any of the evidence, well, the dead bodies of the werewolves, for good measure. As you see him kick down the door, see the alpha leaning against the wall, panicking. We meet again, coward. You honestly think your pack could stop me, a devil? Don't make me laugh. You're going to die regardless. You just postpone your fate, mutt. When the alpha tried to make his break out of the room, he got struck across the face as he goes flying over his desk, as he lands on his chair, as red chains wrapped around the chair, binding him, digging into his chest. Alpha looks down to see the chains coming out of a small red portal on the ground. You know, after all this running, I had a hard time figuring out how I'm going to kill you, so I decided to relieve some stress. I'm going to torture you before I kill you, but I should warn you, it's my first time using such methods. So please, bear with me. I might make some mistakes, but I'm willing to learn. Izuki spent the next 9 hours brutally torturing the werewolf with curses with his magic. He placed on him, causing him extreme pain, but not enough pain to pass out. As he continued this for 9 hours straight, you can see silver nails underneath his fingernails, as he has several of the same nails forcefully jammed all across his body and in his different body parts. Basically all over his body. When Izuku was satisfied, he rammed his hand into the side of his ribs and ripped out one of his ribs. As he slammed one of the broken ribs into his head, jammed the rib bone into his head, killing the werewolf instantly. Then he snapped his neck for good measure, then burnt his body to a crisp. He checked himself over to make sure he had no blood stains on his suit, as you see him fix his collar of his shirt, then calmly walk out of the hotel, whistling a catchy tune. Once he stepped out, he immediately noticed an angel floating in the sky above him. The moment the angel noticed his appearance, he immediately summoned his holy weapon, ready for some conflict. Before the angel could attack Izuku, a female angel made herself known and stopped the angel from attacking the devil. Not the devil, but a devil. I'm down. You wouldn't be a match for this one. We haven't been officially introduced. I'm Gabrielle. I suppose I would be your aunt, and it's very nice to officially meet you, even though this is under this sort of circumstances. It's not really favorable, or to my liking. Stand down and go back to heaven. I'll deal with this personally, and don't argue with me. Gabrielle watches her subordinates make their way back to heaven. Children, so eager to please. Do I owe the pleasure of... Oh, sorry. What do I owe the pleasure, Auntie? Gabrielle has a warm smile on her face as she just sat down in front of her nephew, then gave him a big hug. As she broke the hug, I feel better now. Now let's get down to business. This is only a courtesy call on my part, considering your family. According to Lucifer, my brother, your father, you're dealing with the stray devils that are causing quite a stir, manipulated humans and such not. I'm just making sure that you're dealing with them. I see you had an issue with the werewolves. Well, was once a pack. Seems you killed them all. That's unfortunate, but no matter. They caused some trouble, but I took care of them easily enough. They did not heed my warning, unfortunately. I don't enjoy using brutally methods to get my point across, but it's a necessary evil. As he has a smirk on his face while he's looking at his aunt. Yeah, you're definitely my brother's kid, all right. You're fortunate I didn't come. You're fortunate I came instead of Michael. She would have not been so cordial towards you. I suggest you deal with the devils fast. The last thing we need is a squadron of angels here on Earth. Something like that would get the local population to take notice, and we really don't want that. So you're basically going to be my shadow until I get the job done. Exactly, my adorable nephew. I'll be in touch. Just don't drag your feet too much. I can only do so much to buy you some time. I'm a bit confused, Auntie. You said Michael's a she? But that's a boy's name. No disrespect or anything like that. Just curious. Your grandfather, my father, had a bit of a twisted sense of humor. Interesting. Well, I'd better get going. I'll see you around, Auntie. As you think you disappear in a magic circle back to his home base, that's where we're going to cut it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.